Welcome to the Uncommon Transformation television series.
You are welcome to Akwa Ibom State, the land of uncommon transformation. Come and join us, live amongst us, and invest, and you will not regret. I welcome you.
Religious tolerance and harmony took the center stage as Muslim and Christian leaders converged on Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, for this year's first quarterly meeting of Nigeria Inter-Religious Council, NIREC. The meeting, the 13th in the series, provided eminent leaders of both religions the platform to input into possible ways out of the security challenges and other socio-political issues facing the country in recent times. It also presented a group the opportunity to see firsthand the Uncommon Transformation initiative of the Governor Akpabio administration, which has turned the once pedestrian state into a destination for all. Led by the co-chairman, His Eminence the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar, and Khan President, Pastor Ayo Orise Jafo, the group, before settling down for the business of the day, were in Government House, where they paid a courtesy call on Akwa Ibom State Governor Sir Guswil Akpabio CON. Present at the visit were His Eminence Catholic Archbishop of Abuja Diocese, Cardinal John Onoikon, Prelate of Methodist Church of Nigeria, Dr. Sunday Ola Makinde, Bishop Michael Okonkwo, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, who is also the Executive Secretary of NIREC, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, among others. Addressing the guests, Governor Akpabio described as worrisome the tendency where leaders cannot stand up to the truth. He tasked the religious leaders to live by example and practice what they preach, since they are often held in high esteem and are widely believed by their adherents. The governor, who stressed the need for unity in the country and inclusion of people irrespective of their tribe or religion, recommended regular prayer conferences for both religious groups to seek God's intervention in the nation's challenges.
As leaders, when we speak, we should practice it. We shouldn't have double speak, where in public we talk about religious tolerance, in private we encourage divisiveness. And for me, this morning, in welcoming you, I want to pray that God Almighty, the same God we worship, will give all of you the grace to practice what you preach. And God will give you the grace to practice what you preach. When you pronounce peace, your followers will take peace home. When you pronounce violence, they will take violence home. Then we gather religious fathers once a month in Government House to pray for the intention of the state. I recommend this to Nigeria and the leadership of this country, that all of you should be invited once every month to come together and lend your voices to pray for the peace and sustenance of this nation. And you'll be surprised that things will not be the same again. What if this association did not exist? Because what has happened in Nigeria had always been distrust between one religion and the other, and yet we are worshiping the same God. God did not make mistake in creating different peoples and putting them on earth. He created the Chinese, He created the Japanese, He created the Americans, He created the blacks. He created the Mongolians, he created the Russians, and brought all of them together. He could have created only one race. They did not do so. He wanted us to live amongst ourselves and understand ourselves. And the way we relate with one another, the way we assist one another, is the way we receive us. So when people who are led by God, who have the feeling of God, who have the fear of God in them, enter into politics, politics cannot be the same. They will definitely practice what they promise. That is one of the things you may be privileged to see if you go around and while if there is time. So I welcome all to the land of promise and fulfillment.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, said religious and traditional leaders are men of integrity, people who preach the truth and also practice it. He lauded the uncommon transformation being witnessed in the state courtesy of the Akpabio administration, maintaining that the state is blessed to have a man like Akpabio at the helm of affairs in the state.
For welcoming us with open arms, welcoming us into this beautiful city of Uyo, where no doubt even a blind man could see the uncommon transformation here. I want to thank you most sincerely for your hospitality, for opening your doors very wide for the 1 millionth time to host this very important conference of the Nigerian Interreligious Council. NIREC is not a government body, not a federal government body. We don't speak for government or against the government. We want to disabuse the minds of people that feel religious leaders, be they Christian or Muslims, are not organs of government. We tell the truth as we see it according to the Holy Books. And I believe we have to continue telling the truth. Once more, I want to thank all of you for being good hosts. And I want to thank Almighty for His blessing on this state by giving it good and competent leadership. Akwa is my home state. So I think I can claim to be a citizen here more than it before I
We really appreciate you. We appreciate your government. I've been here for 3 days now. I've gone round. I've seen what is going on. And you have also shown it's not something that you are just creating. Those things are there. And when I was speaking with your ADC and he said, Salam Alaikum, I was taken aback. In Akwa Ibom. And that's how I started talking to him. And you have shown so many other examples. I pray that in this country, you will have leaders who will be able to act what they preach, what they say, so that you can have a peaceful and united country.
The meeting moved to the Bom Hall grounds where leaders of both religions gathered to find solution to the lingering security challenges facing the country. The choice of Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, as venue for the first quarterly meeting for this year was very apt. For, according to the state chief executive, Sir Goswill Akpabio, the state is synonymous with the biblical Gilgal, where God directed the leaders of Israel to go up and present their problems to him, and here their problems will be solved. He told the religious leaders that having heeded this divine call, the insecurity in our land and their perpetrators will never be seen nor heard anymore. Governor Akpabio lauded the founding fathers of the Nigeria Inter-Religious Council NIREC for the idea to form a body that seeks to unite people of both religions and providing a veritable platform for adherents of both religions to address contending issues for the overall benefit of the Nigerian people at large. Akpabio affirmed that by amalgamating the North and the South in 1914, Lord Lugard acted through divine guidance, stressing that no man has the mandate to disunite this country.
So today is not about Akwa Ibom, but because we want to show tolerance for each religion, you need to know that the free and compulsory education, which we declared for all Akwa Ibom children, is applicable to all children of Nigerians who are resident in Akwa Ibom State, and there is no religious discrimination. It doesn't matter whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. And of course, among those inaugurated today into the Interreligious Council is one of the Islamic scholars in Akwa Ibom State. He is an elected councillor in Siratai local government area, and is a Muslim. That is Akwa Ibom for you. I tried to encourage the churches in the state. I donated 100 million to the Christian Association of Nigeria Akwa Ibom State branch to address the issue of very serious poverty in the churches in the state by giving small loans, small grants to the poorest people, not to those who can afford. I also invited the Muslim brothers in the state. I said, you may not be many in number, but you also have poor people amongst you. So I donated 10 million naira to them. And I said, also give small grants to the Muslim brothers amongst you who may want to engage in trade and who may not have the capability. But let me talk about the co-chairs. I believe that two of you have remained worthy ambassadors of the two faiths. You have given us hope that there is no line drawn between Islam and Christianity, and that our love of God and our love of our fellow man should not erase anything. About a dozen Nigerians dazzled and sparkled in faraway South Africa. They stood together and sang the national anthem. Then they played together and passed the ball to whoever was available to them. Religion was not a factor in that game. Tribe was not a factor. The only factor was to pass the ball to whoever was in a green jersey. And that green jersey signified whoever was a Nigerian. With heart and might, they conquered Africa. In Nigeria, we trooped out to the streets to hail them. We cheered them, and some of us wept in joy. Because they played the game. But Nigeria won the game as a country. Christianity did not win in South Africa. Islam did not win in South Africa. What do you think won in South Africa? Unity. You are now going to form a wall of defense for our dear country to stop the assault of bigots who seek to ruin this nation. Let us strengthen our cord of brotherhood, irrespective of our religious inclinations. Let us light the torch of religious tolerance through this meeting so that all our adherents can follow. The Nigerian Interreligious Council, made up of 50 eminent members, composed of 25 Muslim leaders and 25 Christian leaders, offers us a clearinghouse for religious tolerance, offers us a house for propagation of unity and peace. The co-chairman, being President General of NSCI and President of CAN, have blazed the trail in showing us the path. We should illustrate harmony, mutual trust, and a sense of proportion. We must all stand by them.
The Delta State Governor, Emmanuel Uduaghan, who was represented by the Deputy Governor, Professor Amos Otuama, questioned the motive behind the crisis in the country when the two major religions, Christianity and Islam, are anchored on the twin virtues of peace and love for one another. Professor Otuama commended the leaders of both religions for setting up NIREC, even as he recommended stiff penalty for persons who perpetrate violence in the name of religion, in any part of the country.
That unscrupulous elements are hiding in the name of one religious activities or the other to emphasize what divides us and not what unites us together. This we must discourage by coming together.
Speaking earlier, His Grace and President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Pastor Ayorise Jafo, OFR, who is co-chairman of NIREC, said the body was formed essentially as a means to build bridges of unity between the two major religions in Nigeria. The CAN president, who identified equity and justice as basis for peace in the country, pledged to partner all well-meaning Nigerians to enthrone a country that all would be proud to identify with.
There is no limit to the greatness that Nigeria can achieve. If we could just understand some of the things you were saying. I wish your colleagues from different parts of this country, both north and south, will follow your example and make their states a welcome place for everybody. I wish they would do the same. I wish they will reach out and allow everyone from any part of Nigeria to become anything and occupy any position in any state across this country. There lies the greatness of Nigeria. I'm excited. I thank you because you have taken a bold step. And I'm sure that those of us here have heard, we have learned, we have seen. And you said it, that it's not just about what we say, it is about what we do practically. May God continue to bless you, and may Nigeria learn from your example. NIREC is a body, or as a body, is an important and veritable organ that can build bridges across religions in this country. It is the best platform that can be used to foster unity and create a new image for this great country. CAN will, and I believe the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs also joins with CAN. We will therefore continue to partner with each other, and indeed Nigerians of goodwill, in the collective desire of our countrymen and women to enthrone a befitting and united country that we can all be proud of. If we can genuinely foster the unity that we so much talk about and desire, we can together speak truth to power and demand accountability from our appointed and elected officials in government. In this way, Nigeria will be better for it.
Similarly, His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto and President General, Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, explained that the meeting was rotated to give every section of the country opportunity to meet face-to-face with their religious leaders, whom he said were held in high esteem. According to him, the only way out of the current situation the country is now in is through dialogue, while the leaders themselves must speak the truth at all times as demanded by the scriptures. This way they will be believed by the electorate. He further urged Nigerians not to condone any form of violence or criminality, since according to him, no religion teaches violence.
Now, one of the reasons why we decided to move these meetings around this country is for everybody who is a Christian or a Muslim to see us sitting down together, talking to one another on issues affecting us as a people. That's the only way those who believe in us, those who follow the religions we lead, will believe in what we say to them. Criminal activities must be seen as criminal activities purely and nothing more. No religion teaches violence. No religion allows people to kill people just like that. When criminal activities are committed, they should not be given religious connotation. We should treat those people as criminals.
Both religious leaders did not hide their admiration for the wonderful and charismatic leadership style of His Excellency Sir Godswill Akpabio, culminating in the uncommon transformation being witnessed in the state. In a paper, the guest speaker and professor of political economy of the University of Jos, Professor Sam Egu, blamed the later security situation in Nigeria on illiteracy, poverty, and underdevelopment.
And I think the point of departure of our concern with terrorism here is not just September 11, but also the experience in the last few years that bombings, targeted killings, and deliberate attack on state authorities have become part of our everyday life. And if you look at the pattern of terrorism today, even though it had existed before, you reach one conclusion, and that conclusion is that we are back to the Hobbesian nightmare of continual fear and danger of violent death, the life of many solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. I think on this note, we have enough reason to be bothered about the link between religion and terrorism.
Some religious leaders who spoke to Uncommon Transformation Television spoke of the imperative of a body such as NIREC, which seeks to foster religious harmony between the two major religions in Nigeria.
Yeah, you know, Nigeria is a multi-religious society, and then we have been having religious conflict here and there, communal conflict here and there, and either you like it or not, people believe in religious leaders and traditional rulers. So these two institutions, religious institution and the traditional institution, they are very, very important. And that's why we have come together to solve these problems.
The faith community is playing its part to ensure that at the level of leadership, across religion, religious leaders are talking, they are negotiating, they are ensuring that their followers are brought closer to one another.
We are, by the grace of God, as religious adherents, the cause we can tell so that by the grace of God we can have peace in Nigeria. So having said that, by the grace of God, we have decided to go from one state to the other to make sure that by the grace of God we sensitize our people on the need to coexist.
This body, NIREC, is a welcome development. This is the platform that will bring together the religious leaders, both Muslim and Christian, to dialogue, to understand themselves, to move this country forward.
And it is also allowing us to compare notes and let us see the possibility of understanding the truth from falsehood.
High point of the event was the inauguration of the Akwa Ibom State chapter of NIREC, co-chaired by Bishop Cletus Bassi, the State Khan Chairman, and Chief Imam Mohammed Adamu. The NIREC meeting is coming on the heels of similar meetings by notable groups, organizations, and agencies which in the last few years have held their meetings here because of the peaceful ambience coupled with world-class infrastructure which the Akpabio administration has put in place for the comfort of the citizens and visitors alike. These include the Bome International Airport, construction of over 300 roads, both state and federal, measuring more than 1,000 kilometers, complete with streetlights, 4 flyover bridges and other bridges across the entire state, construction of a new state-of-the-art governor's lodge, construction of a new governor's office, construction of Nigeria's first digital library, construction of the first in Africa pipe jacking underground drainage project, construction of world-class entertainment resort, the Boom Tropicana Center, with an additional 250-room second five-star hotel with a wet and dry theme park for fun lovers, completion of the 191 megawatts Ibom power plant, construction of a 30,000-seater Olympic-sized stadium, construction of the 20th anniversary specialist hospital, with the world-class infrastructure put in place by the Pabi administration, Akwa Ibom State is definitely ready to host the rest of the world, be it in business, politics, sports, and what have you. All that you need to do is to come and see things for yourself. The people call it Uncommon Transformation.
Uncommon Transformation television series brings you the latest information on the monumental achievements of Governor Akpabio's administration. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to read the latest news, watch amazing videos, and in-depth interviews with the men and women working hard to make Akwa Ibom State better. You can also log on to our website for more information. Uncommon Transformation television series brings you the right information whenever you need it.